Hello everybody, welcome back to another weekly market review for F45 trading. This week is Monday, March 16th. We're looking at the week that ends Friday, March 20th. So we're already middle of March. The world is going to hell in a handbasket in a very big hurry, and the markets are showing the results of that. So been very, very interesting out there. So if you guys, while you're trading this week, just definitely take it easy, reduce your risk, because the markets are going to be pretty volatile. So take it easy if you can. Now, looking at the weekly calendar, we've got some high impact news events. We've got some G7 meetings scheduled all day today. We've got US dollar Empire State Manufacturing Index that's about to hit at the time of this recording. And we've got monetary policy for the Australian dollar for Monday evening. And then we've got some Tuesday high impact news events for the euro and for the US, for the US dollar core retail sales and retail sales meeting minutes at 7:30 a.m. New York time. And then we've got Wednesday, lots of Canadian dollar news and Australian dollar news events as well too for Wednesday. We've got a holiday for the yen on Thursday, so keep note of that if you are a yen trader. And pretty much normal normal news for the rest of the week from there. So nothing too crazy on the economic front. Now that being said, obviously, that being said, we're obviously seeing lots of volatility in the markets, and you can see that right from what the US dollar is doing. We have the big slide to finish off February into first part of March. Came down, swept all of these lows under here, ultimately taking this low out right there, failing to get underneath this low here. I think we actually came in and had an equal bottom right there, so I'm going to be watching those. Now, we don't necessarily need to see price come all the way back down to here again anytime soon, but what I am watching to see is if we're going to make a run for this high up here. So I'm going to put a price tag on that, and that 99.80 level, the high of it actually came in at 99.80.05. So we'll put that on the chart here now. So that's the absolute high. If we get above this little area in price right in here, I think we're probably going to see a shot higher, and we'll be up into the 100 or higher for the rest of the week. So I'm sort of watching to see what happens. So Friday we came up and slammed into the lows of these candles. Monday we came back up and failed to get above, and we've been selling off. So they either want to take it lower to come and bang back into this consolidation area right in here, and just have a look on your own charts at this area. And I'll put a just sort of maybe a real light red in there, light pink. Have a look at this area because they spent a lot of time working price previously, and actually we could go back as well too. See how long price stayed in and consolidated in that exact area at the 97 level. Very likely that we're going to come back in there and see price dip back into that level as well. Could be high 97s, low 97s, but I'm just sort of looking at this area right here, and we'll extend that out right there to see if price wants to come back in there and how much time we spend in there. If we consolidate a little bit, spend a few days. If we spend a few days and it looks something kind of like this, where we come in and, 1 or 2 days in here just sort of going back and forth, there's a very good chance we're going to see it go higher. But if we immediately start stabbing into this area and going lower into high 96s, then I think we could have seen the high here. So I'm just sort of waiting to see where they want to take this week. But have a good look at that on your charts this week, and keep the dollar in mind when you're looking at your trades. But right now we're just kind of in the middle of this range, and so we'll just have to kind of wait and see if we break below. And I'll put it on the chart here. If we break below 97.06, then price is going to run all the way down, and we have a little gap on the daily rate here, and we'll probably clean up that 96.50 level, 96.55 level. And if we get all the way down there, I think there's a very, very high likelihood that we'll probably continue to go lower. So I'm going to be watching those two levels on the week to see if we even want to get down below this level here, below 97, or if we stay above it. If we stay above it this week, then I think we're probably going to run out these highs on the week here. But keep in mind, there's a lot going on in the world, depending if you live in Europe, if you live in North America, if you live in Asia, I mean, wherever. I don't believe anybody's unaffected by what's going on. So they're starting to close everything down now here in North America where I'm at. And for the next couple of weeks anyway, we're going to be probably in our houses and businesses shut down here. And so with that, obviously, we're going to see probably a lot of market volatility. So there's going to be lots of time in front of the charts, which is great. Don't overtrade, guys. That's going to be the killer to your account. Wait for the setups to come to you and then and take advantage of it then, but don't go out and force trades, especially in this market, because you can see these whipsaws can happen very, very quickly. EurUsd, same thing. So we're starting to creep up back into the lows of these candles up in here. Keep an eye on that. If we can't get too high above that, then I think we could continue lower and make another stab down. But I'll be watching this area here. And really, we came down on, now, obviously the open on Monday, or excuse me, Sunday came down a little bit lower. But I was watching this level in here, and so far we've come down, stabbed through it once, twice, 3 times. The body on the candle Friday failed to go lower than that, which I like, and then immediately Monday came to reprice. So there is a good chance, I think, that we could run higher, but I'm watching this low here to see if we can get back through that. Again, that comes in at 112.60, so I want to see what happens when we get above that. If we get above 112.60, I think there's a good chance that we're going to see this high here run out, and then possibly and then you can go back to the weekly chart and you can see there's lots of highs back in here that we can pick from, and we're back to the bullish stance on euro. But lots of whipsaws happening. I mean, you can see from the high back down to the low from last week. That was a 430 pip run on the week for EurUsd. So it's pretty volatile out there. Reduce your risk for sure. For the love of God, you don't want to see one of those whipsaws clear out your account, because there's going to be lots of that happening, I believe. So anyway, that's what I'm looking at for euro. Want to see if we can get above here. We're going longer. If we're not, and we're going to start clearing back down in here, then I think we're going to probably come down into this area down here, at least 10900 on the week, if we take out the lows from last Friday. Okay. GbpUsd has seen a nice little bounce so far, and I'll put up this here, put the lows on. You can see we kind of came down right in the middle of this last consolidation range right in here, kind of rebounding off the highs in here. Very interesting to see this big sell-off. Can it go lower? Absolutely. We've got a couple kind of equal lows in down under here that price may want to rebalance off of. Do we get underneath this low here? That kind of is what I'm waiting for to see. And if we do that, then the pound is in real trouble, because then we're going to probably go obviously below these lows here, and further than that. I don't have data on this chart to go further than that, unfortunately. So I'm going to be watching to see what we want to do in here. Now, EURGBP was interesting. We came up and, whoops, that's what I'm looking for right here. You see where we tagged off on the weekly? Right on the lows of these 2 candles right there. That's a pretty sensitive point on EURGBP, and I would expect a little bit of pullback. How much pullback, I don't know. We may just want to come back down and you know, back to this consolidation level here, and then it could just make another high higher. And you can see obviously we've got some highs above here. We just took these highs here from this previous high there, so that could be the target if they want to really keep pushing it. But again, I am looking for a little bit of a bounce lower on EURGBP. Okay, if we can't get down below the close of last week here, I know we already came down, and price looks like it's starting to push up again. But if we can't get below that, actually it looks like it's starting to fall off in here now in the hourly. But I'm watching to see this come lower. So anyway, if that happens, what it's going to do is it's actually going to push GBP higher. And as we came up here, we ran those highs, came back down to rebalance lower. I'm looking to see if we're getting a bit of a bounce here. And if that does happen, then we could see GBP come all the way back up. I don't know that we're going to come all the way back up here or not, but you can see we've got lots of highs in here. Price came in, made an equal high in here, almost an equal high. I just failed to get above it there. Slammed back down. Now we're coming back down again into this consolidation level in here. Good place for a bounce. I think we could see higher prices on GBP. Now I'm watching right here, this candle right here from last Thursday's low. If we have the ability to get above that, if we have the ability to get above that, then I think there's a very high likelihood that we're going to trade back up into this area here. So that's what I'm watching on cable. If EURGBP fails to go lower, then cable will probably continue to go lower down here, which means EURUSD could either consolidate or shoot higher, but just depending on what US dollar wants to do. EURUSD is very tied into the dollar, so I would be getting your information from the dollar for the path of EURUSD for the week, and I'd be looking a little bit more so at EURGBP to determine what GbpUsd wants to do. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, send me a note on my Twitter at F45 Trading on Twitter, or if you're a member, obviously post it in the chat room. But that's sort of what I'm looking at. If you have any questions on that, you can get clarification and help you out with that without a problem. UsCad has not been disappointing. We've seen another big gap up to start the week. As you can see, we had Friday close lower right here. I'll zoom in a little bit. Friday closed lower, and we had Sunday candle gap right up, came all the way back down, filled that gap in, and came all the way back up again. So, and you can see that here. Price gapped up, came down, filled it, and then went straight back up again. So, I'm sorry, guys. This was from a week ago. That was from last week. We had that gap open, came back down, and then filled it, came all the way back up. This was the gap I was talking about on the daily on Sunday here. We saw price gap up, came back down, fill it up, and then went back up. So that's what I was talking about there. Just thought I'd clarify that. But going forward, UsCad, oh, I'm not getting an update on my chart here, folks. I'm sorry about that. You would notice that price for UsCad is going a lot higher. And I'm not sure why I'm not getting that data feed here. There we go. Just took a second. Let me get rid of these data dividers. So you can see on the weekly chart, we've made quite a push off of this consolidation. We have this wick high all the way up here at 146, and I believe if we get above that, we're probably going to make another push, and we could see some highs on UsCad that haven't been seen since 2002. So watch out for that. I haven't been a big UsCad trader as of late because there's been a lot of volatility in it and a lot of consolidation in and around this area here, which isn't great to see. But that being said, if you guys have been long UsCad the past 2 weeks, you've been obviously getting paid out quite nicely, because it did not come back and fill this gap in like I was looking for, and it just kept screaming higher. This is obviously attributed to the price of crude oil. Crude oil is falling off the face of the earth here, and none of the OPEC talks with some of the other major producers globally have went well, so everyone just said, well, screw you guys. I'm going to go ahead and continue to sink the price and put more pressure on everybody who didn't want to comply with the production cuts. And so it's a disaster out there, folks, on top of the already massive disaster that we're seeing. So anyway, if you're wondering why UsCad is screaming through the roof right now, have a look at oil and it'll tell you why. So as the price of oil continues to fall, the price of UsCad is going to continue to rise. So again, that's kind of why I'm looking at this high here if we want to get all the way up into there. And we're just now So I believe we're going to see another push higher on USCAD this week. So watch for that. Again, I haven't been a huge USCAD trader, so I'm not necessarily going to offer a whole lot of opinion. Do we come all the way back down and close this gap in here? It probably won't, folks. It'll probably end up continuing higher. And as I say, probably get above last week's high and up into this range in here. So that's all I can offer free on USCAD. Australian dollar. So the exact opposite's happening on Australian dollar. Price is falling off the face of the earth. The Aussie dollar is getting killed right now, and I believe we're going to see 0.600 and lower, and we're currently at 0.6145. So I think we're going to see lower prices on Aussie. Again, how much lower does it want to go? We've seen this thing sliding in here, and in the last 3 months have really been falling off. You can see that there. Not sure why my charts are having such a hard time updating today, but you can see we last week came all the way back up, retraded off of this big slide here, and then continued straight down. So I think we're going to see lower prices on Aussie. I think by the end of this week here, there's a very good chance that we could be below this low here. So watching for that to happen. Prices just kind of consolidating around, not doing a whole lot. Go ahead and have a look at the economic calendar. There is lots of volatility coming for the Australian dollar. We have monetary policy meeting minutes at 7:30 p.m. New York time today on Monday, and then we have lots more employment change, unemployment rate for Wednesday. So Aussie is going to be a little bit volatile this week. Do we shoot all the way up into here and take out those highs? I think it's very doubtful. I think we're probably just going to see a continued slide lower on Aussie, so just watch for that. Crude oil, again, we're seeing that slide now. We had a big gap down to start the week, to start the month, and I believe, guys, crude oil I think is really going to start dropping. Here's this old low from 2015 at $26. I think there's a very good chance we're going to see below $26 on crude oil. So just keep that in mind, okay? And finally, gold has been, folks, sorry, I'm not getting live data feeds on this chart here. If you'll give me 1 second, I'm going to try to switch over to another broker for whatever reason. You can see it's just starting to update now. We just saw that clip down right there. You know what? Let me just do a force update here. See if this does anything. 1 second. There we go. Now we're getting live data. Sometimes it does that, and if you didn't know that, if you're wondering if you're getting live data or not, just left click with your mouse. I'm assuming with a whatever Windows computer you're using. I don't know what it is with Apple. I don't have an Apple. And then just click on rescan servers there, and it'll give you. It should force a push update. Anyway, so here is gold getting decimated again this week and running for some lows that we haven't seen for a very long time, since 2019. We came back, and I was looking to see, we sort of held up last week in here at the tops of this consolidation, and I was hoping price was going to stay there. As you can see, the price opened up this week and didn't want to have any of that. We're looking to run these lows under here on gold, and then my eyes are going to go back to this consolidation level in here to see how much it wants to dip into there. And then from there, if we lose that consolidation level, well, we've got this next one down here, and I'll just kind of go to the tops of that candle right back there. That could be next as well. So gold is really selling off right now. I think they're scaring people out of this market, to be personally honest with you. I believe the US dollar, was getting crushed down here. Everybody was flying into bonds, and I think they're artificially dropping the price on gold as well too, to put the fear of God into everybody, and everyone panics selling gold, only for them to reverse it and to rip it higher. I'm not saying, you know, gold is going to go to 3,000 next or anything like that, or 2,000 or anything like that. But they're manipulating this market right now because as there's uncertainty in the financial markets, the precious metal markets should be going higher. And you can see they're doing none of that right now. I'm very intently watching gold right now. And as I see a reversal, if it comes, I'm not saying it will, but if we see a reversal and we see a rebalance down to this area, I'm going to be watching it very, very closely, and I'll let you know my thoughts on that. And if I were you as well, finally, stay out of the S&P market. I think we're probably going to see a little more pain on this market. And again, waiting for an update. I apologize. I don't know why my charts are so slow this Monday morning, but here we can see the big slide on this S&P market. So, and we opened up lower. We're coming down lower again to open up the week. So we're probably going to see trading halted several more times this week as people are panic selling. So just be very careful in this S&P market as well too. Okay, that's all I have for you guys. I'll be in front of the charts all week because as where I live, they're starting to shut everything down as well too. So unfortunately going out to public venues and things like that are going to be few and far between. So I'll have lots of time in front of the charts with you folks to talk about this live, and as I see it, I will get back to you. For all of our members, I will talk to you in the chat room today. Thanks for watching, folks. If you have any questions, like I say, shoot me a note to at F45 Trading on Twitter, or if you're a member and want to check us out, go ahead and look at f45trading.com, which, by the way, I should note, folks, my website is finally getting back up and running. I'll have that live for you today, and I had to do a whole migration on my domain and everything like that. It took forever. I do apologize for the delay if you were trying to get in, but I'll have that up and running for you, and I'll put a note on my Instagram and my Twitter feed once that's done, so you can jump on that and see all the new discounted rates and everything like that too. Big discount for the new website, so 50% off, so you guys go check that out for the next time being. But anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching.